YouTube. What up, though? Your favorite podcast is back. Welcome back to another week of This Week in Culture. I'm your host, Ant Wood, aka Trinidad, and aka one half of the culture and God on a pod. And y'all know what it is. When y'all hear that can crack, I ain't got one, but that mean your man back. And I got my brother with me, Jay. What up, though?
What up, though? It's your man Jay Johnson, one half of the culture, one half of everything. And I know what you're thinking. Finally, my favorite podcast is spending time with me. What's popping?
And this week, y'all already know why we here. YouTube exclusive Paradise episode 8, the season finale. Who else but us, man? Want to thank everybody who been joining us the past few weeks on the YouTubes, man. Everybody who been into the live, everybody who been tapping in after the fact. Um, yo, man, it's Paradise finale.
I will say this before we get started.
Yeah.
Forgive the raspiness of the voice. Um, Michigan's changing weather, trying to get your boy. You feel me?
Oh man.
But I got these oranges. We gonna vitamin C this all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So
Little bit of pulp on them bitches for the vibes. They know what the fuck it is, man. Um, before we start, I want to read something to the audience just to set the motherfucking scene, set the tone, really give y'all an idea of what we was working with here. So this is a post that Dan Fogelman, creator, director of Paradise, also of This Is Us. This is an email he posted the screenshots of on his Twitter. Or I'm sorry, on his Instagram. I just want to read y'all this email because the email is to Sterling K. Brown. He said, Sterling, this is on December 14th, 2022. Sterling, hey man, so here's something different I've been working on for the last few months. I wrote it picturing you. You're the only person who has seen this aside from the four-ish people who run Disney 20th Century Fox. It was turned in 48 hours ago, and it's getting a series order between us. It's all just happening overnight, but it'll be roughly 8 to 10 episodes a season for Hulu, a couple of seasons. I have no desire to shoot anywhere besides LA, though we might need to drive to get to locations as it requires. No one else is involved yet. No one else has seen it. This email will self destruct in 2 minutes. I know it goes without saying. Please never feel pressure on my end. Like Whitney said, I will always love you. Take a read. Let me know what you think. You'll have questions at the end. I have the answers. Love to Rye and the family and feel better. Dan Fogelman. He wrote that to Sterling, asking him to be a part of Paradise. I saw an interview with Sterling K. Brown and James Marsden where Sterling K. Brown was talking about how he's never been number one on the call sheet. Never been that top nigga. I never been the main character. I'm number two at most, but I've never been number one. And he said, it was a thing. It became a whole fucking thing with me to the point that it was like superstitious. I don't even want to be number one on the call sheet because if I'm number one, show might not do well, dog. And he's saying this shit, and they keep going to James Marsden's face while Sterling K. Brown is saying this. And James Marsden looks confused as fuck. And when Sterling K. Brown stops talking, James Marsden was like, I didn't even know that's how you felt. I didn't know that was a thing. Like, that was your superstition. He was like, bro, fuck out of here that you don't want to be number one on the call sheet. Like, you deserve to be number one. But also, why you pick to be number one on my shit? Like, yo, James Marsden was funny. He was like, you would get to number one on the call sheet on my program.
so
Man.
I saw that video a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting. And I hadn't necessarily heard the term before.
Yeah.
But now Apple TV Plus has a whole a 2-part documentary called Number One on the Call Sheet.
Ooh.
Um, and I didn't know that was a thing. And there's some superstitions about it. There's
Yeah.
pressure because if you're the number one person and something doesn't work out, your show didn't work out. Not
Yep.
a show that you was on. No,
Yep.
your show didn't work out.
And you got to think about that, right? Like, it don't matter who the director was, it don't matter who the other actors were. It's your show because you were the lead. And Sterling K. Brown had a superstition about being the lead on a program. He's been a part of, you know, shows where he was either number 2 or number 3, maybe even I don't even know what number he might have been when he was on Insecure, dating Molly. You might have been like
He
number
wasn't on
12
call
on the
sheet.
call sheet. Yeah, you might not have been on the call sheet. But as an actor, what's that term they be saying about people who feel like
Imposter syndrome.
imposter syndrome? Yeah. That's exactly what I was looking for. As an actor, I could imagine the feeling that you have when you know you good enough and you know you're the right fit, but even with all the evidence, you still feel like, damn, can I really carry this? Can I
Man,
really be the leading man? Yo,
I mean, that's a feeling that I'm sure many of us get. Like, if you ever been in leadership, right, you may
man,
know that you have all of the qualifications on paper, but now it's like,
yeah,
yo, these 15 people report to you. It's
yeah,
all on you now. So whether
yeah,
the department goes yay or nay,
yeah,
this is all your responsibility. And that can be like, damn, what do you do in that? Do you thrive? Do you falter or what
yeah.
have you? So
You and I are both in leadership positions where we not only lead teams of people, but we also are involved in training them, developing them, and really just sort of building them up, right? Um, One thing I always think about is I'm responsible for this person's career. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether they do good or bad, whether they advance or not, whether they become, whatever the maximum is that they could become from the position that I have them at, I'm responsible for them developing and getting to that point, right? When you're an actor, you're responsible for you. You are your team, right? Like,
but
you're
though,
the developer, you're the person in charge of where you get to and how far you go, nigga. And
but on the other side of that, if I'm on a show called Martin and Martin Lawrence is the star of the show, if I fuck this up, all the other people on set, the production team, the wardrobe, the makeup, like all these people
yeah,
are banking that I bring my A game so I can keep the Martin show
yeah,
um popping or whatever the
yeah.
case. So
It's a lot of pressure to wear, and if you're Sterling K. Brown, acclaimed in his own right, a part of an Emmy award winning and critically acclaimed show, This Is Us. And he's, been a part of some Oscar winning films. Like, we've seen him do his shit and do it well, man. But um shit, he's an Oscar winner, nigga. Got a best supporting actor Oscar for the joint with Jeffrey Wright about the where they was brothers. I'm blanking on the name of that shit, but
oh yeah.
yeah, Sterling he got his nom, right? Like, you've literally proven yourself to be as
Some
talented.
fiction, right? Some
Yeah,
American
uh,
fiction.
American Fiction. You've proven yourself to be as talented as the audience thinks you are. But to read that email and to hear that interview that he did with James Marsden and realize that, yo, as gifted and as talented as we think this guy is, he still holds himself to a bar that's kind of under where we think he is, right? Like, we think of him at this great fucking exceptional level, and he thinks of himself as, I'm good, but I ain't leading man good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not even that I don't think I'm leading man good. I don't want to be leading man good, because if I'm a part of a project that don't work and I let it, I don't want my name attached to that, dog. And it becomes a thing. And I gotta tell you, reading that email from Dan Fogelman and looking at, like, he had a real gentle approach to that. Like, hey, read it, let me know, and no pressure, because I'm gonna love you regardless. You my man. Me and you did great things over at This Is Us. But if you don't want to do this, I'm cool with that too, man. And I read that and I thought of it from a writer's perspective. And I said, like, yo, man, it's one thing to have an actor in mind, right? Like, you write a role and you think of somebody for it. It's another thing for you to write a role and the person you think of for it is somebody you've already worked with. You know them. I'm not banking this on what you've
That's
done in other people's shit.
that's Ryan Coogler and
And Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B.
Yeah,
Jordan. Like, I'm
facts.
writing these movies and these scripts with my man involved. So like
Facts.
the dialogue, what I have the person doing, how I see the scene going to play out, I see it better because I
Yeah.
know who the person is. Like,
Yeah.
we played this game where could you see somebody else being Xavier? Who could be Xavier in this particular? Now we just seen Jeffrey Wright, right? Could Jeffrey
Yeah.
Wright play that character? 100%. I think it would be a much more serious looking movie or
Yeah.
show. I don't know. I think he. Oh shit. These guys say y'all call him Sterling K, but he'll forever be in Jobo.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to the Black Panther.
Facts.
There's a funny story about that. He could have had like the rights or something was going on with that, but he was like, oh no, they'll never make a black hero movie or whatever, a black superhero movie, and they end up being in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, man, like, I won't say this about Sterling K. Brown because I don't know it to be true, but I feel like in your career, whether you're an actor, whether you a fucking nigga that work at the plant or anybody in between, somebody somewhere as an actor, especially a black actor, especially a black male actor, somebody somewhere sowed a seed of doubt in you. Not that it fucking made you believe you wasn't dope, but somebody somewhere made you second guess yourself, dog. They made you second guess whether you belonged in the space you was in. And the nigga Earn, shout out to Earn. What up, though? He says, see, I'll always remember him from People versus OJ. He bodied that character and didn't even have that much screen time. In People versus OJ,
he talked about that in an interview with
Yeah.
on Pivot, and he's like he had to read his book so he can understand like where this person was coming from.
Yeah.
And like he felt the empathy of somebody who has been pro one particular thing, and then like the entire community like calls you Uncle Tom or whatever. It was pretty interesting. So he embodied the role, and then he bodied the role.
He played, if you didn't watch People versus OJ, he played Christopher Darden, who was a prosecutor in the People versus OJ, in the actual OJ Simpson trial, and he was quite literally, I'm not saying this to be like salacious or anything, Christopher Darden was brought to Marsha Clark's legal team to be the black representative, right? Like, we wanted black people to know that we have a black person on our legal team too. Like, Johnny Cochran and all them other people over there, they're great, but we got somebody black over here too, and this black person is also saying OJ is guilty of the crime that we're accusing him of. And Christopher Darden, unfortunately, because he's actually a brilliant fucking attorney, but unfortunately he was put in a position and he walked into it because he was arrogant too, and he wanted to make a name, he wanted to blow his career up. Him versus Johnny Cochran in that league. So one thing that a lot of people don't understand about that OJ trial, and we're gonna get back to Paradise, but in that OJ trial, OJ Simpson's legal team wasn't just OJ Simpson, Robert Shapiro, and Kardashian Daddy. They had, I think, like 18 attorneys. Nigga, 12 of them was Harvard Law. Like, it was like, when they say that was one of the best legal teams ever assembled, nigga, the 12 Harvard Law attorneys were only gathering evidence. Like, them niggas weren't like presenting. We were evident. These niggas are established Harvard Law attorneys, and we was gathering evidence, my nigga.
I mean, it's a lot of attorneys who don't actually practice inside of the courtroom. Mm-hmm. All my stuff is somewhere else.
Yeah. So Christopher Darden being on the prosecutorial side of that, he was calling Uncle Tom because you're fighting the black guy.
It's not a bad idea, Ern. Might have to do a twig rewatch.
Ern, say word and I'll do it. That's one of my favorite dog. People versus OJ was brilliant. And it won, nigga. We talking about, I think, 3 or 4 Emmys. Courtney B. Vance, Detroit's own. The lady who played Marsha Clark, I'm blanking on her name right now. And I think they got like a cinematography or something. They got a third fucking
everybody on there did their fucking job, man.
Damn. And Sterling K. Brown got nominated. He just got nominated up against Courtney B. Vance, who bodied Johnny Cochran. Like, that show was brilliant, dog. And it was done in a way that I really thought, for me, not having watched This Is Us, that was my first real foray into Sterling K. Brown's acting. I didn't know. I knew he was a good actor from what I had heard and like little small roles I seen him in where I was like, oh, that's dude that they said was in This Is Us. Nigga, as fucking God damn it, I just
Christopher
Darden. He went off. And he always had leading man energy, dog. But I feel like in these 8 episodes that we just got of Paradise, he not only reminded people who were familiar with him, he showed a bunch of people who might not have been as familiar with his bag, dog. You know that saying you be seeing online, like, oh, nigga, you know ball. You know ball for real, Nick. Yo, Sterling K knows how to fucking act. He embodied the character of Xavier in a way that I was like, to your point, like, yo, could Jeffrey Wright or really any of our other favorite actors have played Xavier? Sure. Would they have given us the same emotion, the same like reception that we got from Xavier? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not gonna say no, but highly fucking doubtful. This nigga Sterling K. Brown bodied that role, dog. Like, he bodied that shit, bro.
Bet. So what you thought before we get into this episode, what have you been thinking about the overall season?
Man, anytime, because I've had, people know me and you podcast, they know what we do, they know our niche, and people will be like, yo, is it worth watching, right? Like, should I get into it? And anytime somebody's asked me about Paradise, I always say absolutely, hell yes, go watch the shit.
Immediately, yes.
But then motherfuckers will be like, yo, literally, this happened to me earlier today. People will be like, what is it about? Because I don't have no idea. What is the show about? And my response has been the same across the board. I can't tell you, not because I'm going to spoil it, but because in the first episode alone, it's going to be about 3 different things. Nigga, like,
yeah, like it's hard for me to tell you I can't tell you what it's about because the show doesn't tell you what it's about until the end of the first episode. So I would ruin like that feeling that we got when we was like, what the fuck? Like, I can't ruin that for somebody.
So thinking about, the season overall, before we dive into episode 8, thinking about the total season, they did such a phenomenal job at creating the world, right? Like, I feel like what a lot of shows miss is creating the environment that they live in. Definitely wouldn't have been the same. Jeffrey Wright would have killed it. However, Wright would have been less believable from a physical standpoint. Totally agree, Mark.
Them Secret Service niggas, they be suit and ties. They be
niggas
John Wick don't look. Keanu Reeves do not look physically imposing at all.
Fam,
But
Keanu Reeves learned that shit at 40. As a nigga who learned that shit at 4, I could tell you. Don't be confused. Like, you would get your ass beat out here real quick and real fucking fast. But it's one of them shows where this was, you know how me and you always talk about like getting the fucking, I'm gonna say Twitter, but I mean the socials, getting Twitter involved, right? Like shows that gain everybody's interest. Like we getting the timeline involved, right?
it's Twitter, but though, like
For sure.
that's how it go. Like all the conversations about TV shows,
They
they'll
start
be
over here.
on Twitter, people talking about it, and they'll make it to like a Reddit
Yeah.
or what have you. But like
And it's like
Twitter,
me and you, honestly, I'm gonna say the last show that felt like the timeline was this involved was Presumed Innocent last year, where everybody seemed like, oh shit, I think I need to watch this. I've been hearing about it. And then once they got into it, oh shit, this is crazy. Who done it? Who done it?
for me, that's like the allure of a show.
Yeah.
A show being so good that you want to talk about it from week to week is
Mhm.
something I think we've missed. And what I'm gonna watch it after it go off. I'm just gonna binge it. I just want to binge
Mhm.
it. It ain't the same though. Like it
Yeah.
ain't the
Yeah.
same. Like I understand it, but it ain't the same.
But you know what it is? A lot of folks want to binge it because there aren't a ton of shows that you feel like you have to watch in real time, right? A lot of this shit is quite literally made to be bingeable. Like we're not making these shows for you to feel like you got to watch them in real time. But then you get the occasional uh Presumed Innocent, Paradise, where it's like, no, no, no. If you're one of the fortunate people who happen to catch this from the rip and you are now watching this shit week to week, yo, it's a different experience, man. Like, not only did you get to politic with the timeline, nigga, you get to go through these emotions with everybody else, dog. Like, from the first episode, this show has left us. Always forget Jeffrey Wright played Peoples Hernandez back in the day. Shout out to Egyptian cotton shirts. Yo, D Scott, him as Peoples is probably one of my parents' favorite roles, man. Jeffrey Wright played Peoples in Shaft, the Samuel L. Jackson version. Anybody except my lady ass watching it 2 months ago. Haha. Had a lot of shit going on when Presume came out, but just shit was amazing.
Man, Presume was
Yo,
good.
but Earn, dog, as good as it is on the back end, right? It's something to being able to watch it along with the timeline, right?
Also, it's like those episodes with so much these cliffhanger type things, and it's like you gotta wait, you gotta wait a week to find out what happened next, versus
Yeah.
you instantly quenching your thirst in the next 2 minutes because the next episode came on. It's
Yeah.
different. Now it's like, well, what do you think, Ant? Well, what do you think about this? I like the what if, and I mean that's what our podcast is. You feel
Yeah.
me? The conversations that come from television shows that are quote unquote about or from the culture, right?
Yeah.
So it's one thing about being entertaining, but there's a lot of shows that are entertaining that we don't review because we can't talk about it how we talk about some other shit.
Yeah. So thinking about this whole season, man, like I think because this was created, even though Dan Fogelman knew, yo, I have 2 or 3 seasons in mind, right? Like I know what I want to do. I have an idea. I know the very beginning of season 1 all the way to the end of season 3. But Hulu picked up 1 season initially. This was a limited series for 1 season, and Dan Fogelman did what I really can appreciate 1 season shows to do. He gave us a proper ending, dog. Episode 8, if we was never getting a second season, none of that shit. Episode 8 ended with enough of a cliffhanger, but also enough resolution that I feel good enough walking away from this show. However, us learning a few weeks ago that this shit was getting follow-up seasons, yeah, man. Week to week definitely builds anticipation when the show is good. Yo, Mark, you said a real fucking poignant statement there. When the
And this
show
show
is
is
good,
good.
the show has to be good, my dog. Like, it's a lot of programs on right now. No matter what app, no matter what channel, it's a lot of shit on TV that ain't necessarily good, but they're bingeable because you ain't got shit else good to watch, nigga. Like, you'll cut some shit on and watch a whole season of it because it ain't nothing else on, dog. When the show is good, nigga, I'm anticipating the week. Like, that 7 day, dog, me and Jay have literally waited on two. We switched our whole pod schedule around, dog. The first couple weeks, we was recording the Paradise Pod on Thursday. And then it was like, wait. This should come out on Tuesday? Nah, we got to get to this, dog. Because the timeline is on it, the people is on it, and more importantly, we wanted to make sure that we was on the YouTube with it, man.
Also,
Speaking
like
of,
for this, I watch it at midnight.
mhm,
The second it come out. When we watch Severance on a Patreon, I watch that shit as soon as it come out. Like, it's appointment TV for me. Like,
yeah,
I'm clearing my whatever the case may be. I'm watching this shit. That's how good this content is.
yeah. Um, so let's dive into this episode 8, man. This finale, The Man Who Kept All the Secrets. Dan Fogelman showed us the killer in the first few minutes of the show, and I was still surprised at who it was. Yo, this ain't necessarily an episode we got to talk about in a linear fashion, dog. Episode 8, we were told, Sterling K. Brown literally said, all the fucking blogs, everybody said, we're gonna learn who killed President Cal Bradford in the finale. Were you surprised?
Yes.
Yo, it takes a lot for a show to surprise me. And I always feel like if a show not only surprises me, but does so with a character that I absolutely didn't consider at all, like
That
it
we saw
never,
twice.
fam, never crossed my fucking mind. 9 times out of 10, if a show does that, it's a reach. And it makes me feel like, yeah, it ain't believable, dog. Y'all niggas is stretching it. With this, nigga, I was talking to my mom earlier about this shit. I was like, Ma, because she was like, really? The librarian? I was like, fam, he ain't the librarian. He's the nigga that already tried to kill him. I just spun the block, bro. I
I did
already
think
tried to off him, dog.
him making it out of prison and making it in there, I thought that was TV shit for sure. But
For sure.
other than
Um,
that, I was entertained.
the getting in with the bracelet scene, the broken bracelet, that was handled very TV-ish. Because knowing how strict they were being about who was getting in there, knowing how strict Robinson had her team being,
Well, these also regular people though.
for sure.
These are regular people who are going through the end of the world, and your job is to get these people in there. Like, I'm not surprised that somebody got pushed through.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's, we know that happens in real life, right?
Especially when like it's the literally end of the world.
Now, what I will say, the beginning of the episode, and when I say the beginning, I mean shit, the first 15 minutes of this shit. None of our main characters, right? We had the quick scene with Sinatra and Xavier, but for the most part, the beginning of the episode, we got introduced to an entirely new group of people led by our killer, right? He was the project manager.
And I did not even notice that was him from the shooting.
Yeah, I had no clue, bro. That was the trippiest part. Fuck that he got into the damn bunker and shaved half his head into some Sherman Hemsley shit. The fact that I didn't realize you were the initial shooter who tried
And
to
you look the same.
Come on, man. Yo, what did you think about the scenes where him and the team were building this out? Robert said he tried to kill him before. That was a crazy part. Rob, facts, facts. Like, y'all think the lady checking people in got to come in?
I was thinking that. I literally was thinking that because like, what y'all gonna do with her? Or
Yeah.
them, they be like, all right, y'all stay out here and close the door on them. Like,
Well, here's the thing, though, right? Yes, as crazy as that sounds, remember they had secret servicemen getting all the way to the helicopter that was leaving and then telling them, you can't get on this bitch. Like, it's tight. This shit's steep. So I honestly don't know. I'm almost to the point where I feel like if you didn't have a dedicated space in the bunker where you had a skill set that they required down there, right? Like you think about the bartender who worked down there, who owned the bar. Yeah, I'm a bartender. Cool. My wife is a scientist, and she's one of the scientists that are helping y'all figure out what the fuck's going on the earth.
but we also do need a bartender. Just like we need a librarian.
Yeah.
Just like we need a chef. Like
But you know who we didn't need?
we need people to we need society to function. And it needs to
No,
it need to be
who we might not have needed? A nigga who's scanning bracelets incorrectly. Like,
well,
because
it's not that the bracelet wasn't scanned incorrectly, it was just broken. Right.
but it's a whole picture of the two people you just scanned in. Like, these two niggas in front of you don't look shit like the two people in this picture. And
Oh
they
boy,
got
kind of
right
when
in.
he shaved his head, he kind of girl, no.
Nothing at all, dog. She didn't look like Margaret Davis at all, bro. Um, what'd you think about them beginning scenes with the project manager dude, aka the attempted assassin who later became the assassin, and his
So
team building out the whole bunker, bro?
so we did get a chance to see the guy who put the bunker thing together.
Yeah.
When Sinatra say, yo, build me a city, he like, yo, there's no way that you can afford this and such and such. And so she took him down there. Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know where this montage was going. And I'm like, yo, is them niggas about to like be together? Because
Yeah.
I think that was the case, but they just didn't show it like that, which I appreciate that. But like I think we got the gist of it.
Yeah.
But I didn't necessarily know where this was going. I also didn't think about how long it took for them to build this because that was 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And people was down there for a long time building and not knowing what they were building on or building what they were making. So I thought it was interesting. And then when the poison and shit came out, I'm like, damn, these niggas about to die because we can't stop.
So really ironic that the team who built this shit with the tools and supplies and chemicals and all the shit that it took to actually build this city out, Camila said, was the librarian crushing on Adam, or was it a good friendship?
I
So
think he was crushing.
Camila, I think me, you, and Jay are all on the same page. I think he was crushing. On the flip side, shout out to whoever directed this episode. Shout out to Dan Fogelman for writing it. They did a phenomenal job at leaving it hanging just above, like, because on some real shit, as much as I feel like I'm gonna speak for me, I ain't gonna speak for you and Camila. I'm gonna speak for me. I feel like I thought he was crushing on the Adam dude because I'm so used to TV going in that direction, right? Like I feel like so much of 2025 TV has to give you one, a romantic arc, two, an LGBTQ arc. Like we gotta cover bases. That's what so much TV feels like it has to do. I hate to use the term, but I gotta DEI it, right? I gotta include every fucking body so nobody feels excluded in my story. But they did a really good job at not taking it there and leaving it to the imagination, because
because kids watch this show too.
And the way it curved off, like it's really like, yo, I don't know if he really liked that
Well,
nigga.
when he
Or,
said we could be together, I'm like, all right, my nigga.
but
When he
on
was
the
on the
flip
prison
side,
phone,
yo, if I make concern, if you're my team, right? We just talked about me and you being in leadership and overseeing teams, right? If my team was in actual critical terminal danger, I'll give a fuck, dog. Like,
10 years later, give a fuck.
well, he was in prison at that point. So
Yeah, but so when the flashback started, it was 12 years ago.
yeah,
And then he flash forwarded to right now.
yeah. Well, but when he got out, it was 3 years ago, right? So I've been in the pen for 7. You remember he called him from the pen.
Yeah.
Like, hey, nigga, don't
I
hang
don't give a
up,
fuck
bro.
about my team when I'm in prison for 7 years.
At that point, I might be over it. But on the flip side, again, this is us completely fucking spitballing, but like we don't know shit about dog life. We don't know shit about his background. This might have been his only fucking friend. Like, we really just don't know shit about dog, but I think they did a good enough job giving us some information, not giving us too much, right? Like, because if it was a romantic arc, if he did have a crush on dog, would that have changed anything? Not particularly.
Well, yes, because you did all this shit because somebody took the person that you love away from you. Right. So I'm very, very angry because yes, you poisoned, you know this shit dangerous down here, but you also poisoned a person I love down here.
Yeah.
So
But on
like
the
that
flip
gives me
side,
extra so
they
much
also
so that
gave
when
him
I'm in
the vendetta,
prison,
right?
one more
Like,
time.
they gave him the vendetta when he came to work that day and his badge ain't work no more. Like, yo, I'm here. I'm standing here in front of my team as they go into work, and I'm embarrassed.
And this dog fought. You shouldn't have said nothing to him.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
told him, yo, something's going on and this and this and this. Just forget about it. No, my nigga.
yeah,
Just don't talk to him.
yeah. It ain't that deep, man. Don't
You
do that.
told him a secret and told him the secret and then said forget about it.
So once dog learned about the poisonous fucking fumes and all the damn shit that his team was inhaling, yo, fam, I don't want them to be a part of it. He was sad he lost his crush. I can see that. Look, if it was a romantic arc, I get it. Mark said the librarian went postal, disgruntled employee. And that's the thing. I see both sides, right? If it was romantic, I get it. If it was just purely fucking emotional and yo, I'm their leader and I know these people are about to die, and I put myself out there and said, yo, my team we ain't doing this. Like, y'all gotta fucking get us off this site. And then I show up to work the next morning and my badge don't work, and you come to the gate talking about, yo, they'll wear a mask, they'll be fine, nigga. But you fired, my nigga. Have a good day.
JB, that's the biggest thing. Like why the fuck you mad at the president, my nigga? He should have went after Sinatra. The president didn't build that bunker. And if you've been down there for 3 years, you know that Sinatra runs shit down there.
Here's the thing about Sinatra, though. If you've been down there for 3 years and you was supposed to be down there, you might know Sinatra run down there for sure. If you've been down there for 3 years and you ain't supposed to be down there and you really laying low, trying to just make sure that don't nobody even notice you, you might not be as engaged and involved with everything going to know Sinatra really who runs shit.
Everybody down there know that Sinatra runs shit.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say to that. Nigga, the president didn't even know he didn't run shit. He thought he ran shit till Sinatra reminded him, dog. Like, so it's probably regular people down there who really don't fucking know, bro. Like,
I got the impression that everybody knew that she ran it because everybody called her Sinatra. The way that you look across the room, she looked like she's a leader. And interesting. What's so really crazy is nigga wasn't even gonna kill him unless he walked up in that motherfucker.
Facts. I thought about that probably my second or third watch of this episode. Cal, yo, Camila says society has this false idea the president runs everything, so he went after the president. That's a fact. Like, some people just don't know. Simplistic Gray said, agreed. I don't think regular people know.
I don't think dude regular though. That nigga's a psychopathic killer. Okay. And
Well,
like he ain't your average, he not the average person. I don't think, at least.
yeah. I think down there, everybody kind of, even the people who were allowed down there, who was supposed to be down there, I feel like everybody down there was kind of hurried. You were kind of rushed into this position. It was like, oh shit, here's the thing that we all knew was coming, but we didn't know when. Now we down here, and the president runs all this shit. And for 3 years, they kept the peace because, nigga, we think this shit is being run by the fucking president. We don't know Sinatra for real. I feel like in these last few
Who do
weeks,
you think
niggas
made
learned
this
real
shit?
quickly Sinatra run that bitch.
Who do you think paid for this? Is this an official government project from the United States government?
I'm sure they think that. These niggas don't know Sinatra funded this. They don't know Sinatra funded. Talk to that one little nigga on the plane and said, "Build my city, dog."
But she also talked to Cal before he was the president about it,
For
right? They
sure.
was at that thing. So like, did he actually fund this through the actual government though? Because the president is down there.
Yeah.
So like they not just about to they not putting the president down there on somebody else shit.
Yeah.
So I think they probably brung her on as a contractor or got him to make it an official project because there was a full Secret Service detail and plans and things.
Yeah. Um, with dog kind of, so it's fucked up, right? Because the very early parts of this episode, I looked at it and said they
I-
thought it was a recycling facility at first. Oh, they definitely got over on them niggas for sure.
No, I think that was for the people who was working there, right? And he was like, "My nigga, we know this ain't no fucking recycling center, dog."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Listen, don't say that out loud. They have knowledge, and like you should have just shut your fucking mouth."
And he was like, "Yo, what are we building?" Kevin Archangel said, "So what they do with the server? She guilty by association." Facts. Um, yo, what was funny when that nigga jumped through all that server shit and landed on a nigga roof? I was like, "Fam, you just broke like like a quarter of the shit we need, nigga."
He
Like,
broke the sky, dog.
yeah, you can't just jump through the sky, my nigga. Like this ain't fixable, dog.
Yeah.
Yo, yo, no. Hey Kevin, we gonna get to Jane in a minute, dog. Jane went from like, oh, this bitch crazy to yo,
Yo,
she's insane, my nigga.
and she might got a little splash of something. She not all the way there. She got a little splash of, you know.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you why the shit was extra funny that Jane went off because she wanted that Nintendo Wii. So the third time I watched this episode, I watched it with my mother. And when Nintendo Wii first came out, my mom bought a Wii for no reason. Like, my mom is like active in the sense like she'll walk her dog, she'll go get a massage, she'll cook. Like, she active in that sense. But she bought the Nintendo Wii and swore she was gonna do Wii boxing like every day on some like keep my fucking health right shit.
I'm sure niggas then lost their life on the Nintendo Wii for sure.
Man, when that bitch Jane said you should have just gave me the Nintendo Wii. Yo, Jane is out her fucking mind.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Jane says something to the effect that, like, used to me dead or something like that. But I'm with you. I thought she killed the motherfucker at first.
Well, on the second watch, when I realized, obviously at that point I knew she ain't kill her. I was like, yo, you shot her in the chest so she couldn't talk.
Shot in her throat.
Or
I thought
was it the throat?
I thought it was like right here somewhere.
Up in the sternum area.
Yeah.
But you shot her so she couldn't talk because you ain't want her to tell. Because here's the thing. Xavier can't know who Jane really is. The minute he find out that she killed my brother, my dog, yeah, I'm on your ass.
The fact that she shot her where she didn't kill her, but said you're not useful if you're dead, yo, she really run this shit. She the biggest. You feel me?
She told that nigga though. Y'all think it was sentimental because of her life before Paradise or because of Billy? Um, Billy was my nigga, but Billy was only my nigga for an episode. Like before the episode Billy died, I thought Billy was a suspect.
For sure. Like this nigga did. I mean, the
Here's
nigga is still a horrible nigga.
35 minutes into the episode, Billy died. I thought he was a suspect out here. Billy had a total of 20 good minutes in this show that I didn't suspect him.
She no used to Jane alive either. You know, you got a point there because like what you gonna do? She gonna give you new shit. You just shot her in the throat. Like,
yeah,
I don't get it.
It's interesting though because one thing Sinatra learned in that moment, and we all over the place. We're gonna walk through the kind of the review in a moment, but one thing Sinatra learned in that moment where she got shot and realized Jane shot her. You hired a bunch of. We don't know everybody that Sinatra brought down there, right? We know Billy and we know Jane. We don't know who else was on the payroll to bring their ass down there and be a fucking killer, be a mercenary. But what we learned in that moment, Sinatra, you kind of got in over your head, nigga.
Cause you ain't really like that.
Come on, man. You a rich nigga. That's it.
I say this all the time. You can hit me with the knowledge is power, influence is power, all that shit. Money is power. Nigga, power is power.
Yeah.
And you ain't have none. You can't control the motherfuckers forever. She shot your ass in the fucking throat.
Come on,
matter of fact, she said, yo, that I think, that shit should just be mine.
Fam.
What are you serious with me?
Power is power. Yeah. And you can either be James St. Patrick or you could be Tasha.
Yeah.
And Sinatra was Tasha. You didn't run this shit for fucking 6 seasons, my nigga. You was out here trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. You thought you ran this shit till that nigga ran into his fucking high school crush, and now this shit is different, dog. It's the same thing, bro. You was really in them streets thinking, yo, I helped build this bitch. I run this bitch. I got the money in this bitch. But me and you talked about Jay 2-3 episodes ago. Fam, currency don't mean shit down here. Money ain't worth nothing down here. You being a billionaire and building this was only fucking effective when this was being built. Once we live down here, you ain't no different than me, dog. You ain't powerful. You think you are. Because you paying a couple niggas that's killers. But what is you really paying them? Money that can't get spent nowhere but down here? That shit don't matter to me, dog. And you vulnerable. Because you really do care about your daughter and your husband.
And you don't got hands like that.
Also that.
At the end of the day, we don't got, I mean, there are a few guns. But like for the most part, ain't no guns. You don't got hands like that.
Come on now.
So fuck is you talking about?
Come on now. Also, Sinatra kept saying, she started last episode, yo, maybe I am a monster. Ha ha ha. This week it was, oh, I've done terrible things. I'm a terrible person. Nah. You are, but you're not a powerful person. You're terrible and you horrible.
A terrible nigga?
Who?
The killer of the president is a terrible nigga.
Bing. You know who else is a terrible nigga? Jane.
You a terrible nigga because one, you tried to kill the president the first time. Then you got out and shot them 2 people for no fucking, so you can get in, right?
Yeah.
Shot that woman, shot that man, and you didn't shoot the president. You actually shot Xavier.
Yeah, facts.
Right. Like you just been killing people left, right, and then you actually killed the president, hit him in the head multiple times. Like, fam, you just willy-nilly killing people.
Think about this, right? Because he was on initially, I understood his anger, not toward the president or whatever, but toward the fact that, yo, my team is being poisoned to the point that I know they're going to die. I understand what these chemicals are, what they're going to do. And over time, these niggas will not survive this. What are we building, dog? I understand your anger up to that point. because you're the project manager, but you also responsible for a team full of fucking humans. Once you get kicked off the project and you learn that, yo, this shit is above your fucking pay grade and you're not involved, and now I gotta fire you and da 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 da. Fam, killing the president is not the fucking logical next step, dog. Like,
so I thought at the least you were doing that because you knew it would garner international attention, and now you can get your story out there.
Now, did you peep to that point you just brought up? Those little like background shots where it was like CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and they was all crossed out.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had reached out to him and tried to tell a story, but y'all ain't want to hear me. I'd rather Marsha be the killer than this guy. Her reasons were so much better. You know what? So Marsha was the assistant. Gene, I'm late, but just finished watching and never get to say hello. Hi, friends. Okay, bye. Gene, peace out, my baby. Marsha was the assistant who had been with Cal since he was a senator, right? I've been here from the beginning. And then on last week's episode, we saw her, yo, my son is sick. You know, he can't be around all this shit. I'm going to just bring him down and y'all could take him. Even if I die, just make sure my son good. She had reason for sure, but I also think she overplayed her hand. Baby, you not as important. I appreciate you doing my calendar.
Also, she don't know nothing about one. She's dead.
Yeah.
But she don't know nothing about. I don't think she know anything about the Colorado shit.
Yeah,
I think it was too late for her to find out.
But to her
point, she got more reasons. You feel me?
For sure.
And I felt a little way about him being a killer. To be perfectly honest, I'm like, I wanted somebody else to be the killer.
So here's why I didn't have an issue with Dog being the killer who was actually the killer, because he quite literally tried to kill this nigga already.
For sure.
Now, when we absolutely didn't know why he tried to kill him, we had no problem with him being an attempted murderer, right? An attempted assassin. Now we know why he tried to kill him and why he ended up spinning the block on him. I couldn't be mad at it, dog. If you tried to kill me once and it didn't work, and then you get a random opportunity literally years later to do it again, I can't be mad at you trying to get that off.
That's not even my plan, though, my nigga.
No, it wasn't my plan till you walked your drunk ass in the library in your robe, my dog.
I'm saying it wasn't the president plan to do this whole thing. Like,
oh yeah,
you got a hard on for me for no reason.
Nah, you mad at me because here's the thing, and this is why I say people down there who was supposed to be down there might be aware of Sinatra's power and her influence, but a nigga who quite literally was not involved in this shit, nigga, you thought the dude who Sinatra told to build this city was in charge of this shit. Like, you didn't know how high this went, and you didn't know what direction it went. And I felt like that nigga was down there as the librarian on some like, yo, I got my ass in here on the low. I snuck in here. Now I just got to lay low and live my life because I got another shot at staying alive, because I would have died up there in that prison on Earth. Now I get to live in these mountains scot-free. Like, shit is good, bro. I'm gonna lay low.
We got 2 voice messages. Let's knock out one of these joints, and then we'll break into some other shit. All right, let's go to media. Name tag sent in the voice note.
Yo, what up, though? It's Name Tag. What a great way to just close this season out. Definitely enjoyed this episode of Paradise. I'm probably like a bunch of the viewers. I did not expect it to be the librarian dude. I think it's Trent. Trent was his name. I did not expect it to be him at all. But the way they brought that back around, I thought was very dope. And just the way, man, like the joy that the workers had, just I guess with the amount of money that was being paid to build it, and just to like, dog, not even be able to go like to the place that you built, and y'all ain't even welcome there. Wow, right? But what I want to know, because I don't want to get into too much, what do y'all think happens in season 2 with Jane? Because she did tell Sinatra, like, I still need you, and basically telling her, like, you're going to recover. It's going to be a long time, but she still need her. So what do y'all think pans out from that? And does his father find out, will they get that information to his father about who really ended up killing him? But looking forward to y'all thoughts on the episode. Catch y'all in a minute. Peace.
Name tag, peace, my boy. I'm gonna answer that second question you asked right off the top. I don't know that Pops is gonna be alive by season 2, dog. He on the way to fuck up out of here, man. That dementia was already kicking his ass season 1. We haven't even seen him in 2 episodes. I don't know that he'll be here to actually have a fucking opinion on Sinatra. And if he does, not even trying to be funny, I don't know that he'll remember it, dog. That's my thoughts on Pops. Like, I get he was also a billionaire down there and he helped really build it. So the whole kind of 360 was Pops and all his like oil refinery and all that shit that he was involved in. And then the little like rose symbol, you remember we was trying to figure out what that symbol was? Yo, dog worked for Pop's company. Nigga, like,
you know what's so crazy is
what's that?
None of that shit had anything to do with the president dying. Sinatra didn't have anything not anything to do, but like Sinatra, the Pops, all that shit. That nigga got hit in the head with a metal excavator.
Yeah.
On some damn near on some random shit.
It just so happened to be by a nigga who used to work for your daddy company. That's it. Like, there was no other connection. Like, it wasn't like this nigga had a fucking lifelong vendetta. It wasn't like this nigga was fucking his bitch. You wasn't stealing his money. No, nigga. You were the president during a time where his team was building this city that was going to kill them because of the chemicals that were being used. Nigga.
What do you think? Well, we found out what those numbers meant from the cigarette. And they were like from the Dewey Decimal System and shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Dewey Decimal System. And we found the book Whole 9 Yards. I paused the television and read all the notes that was on the page in those books.
Yeah, for sure.
My nigga, it's 52 million people alive up there.
Yeah.
52 million people?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot, dog.
Facts.
Like,
so
that's a lot. They got caves, they got water, they got irrigation, like they didn't set up trade routes. Like, so it
was a couple bars in that book that he found before we even get to the fact that there's 52 million people alive. So the initial book, there were 2 books in that area when he went to the library. One of them was called shit. I think the first one was called The Man Who Kept All the Secrets, right? Yeah. Or no. I'm sorry. The first one was called like it was a Frank Sinatra biography. That's what it was. That was the first one he looked at. Then the second one was called The Man Who Kept All the Secrets by Peter Lawford. Do you know who Peter Lawford is? For the listeners who don't know who Peter Lawford was, Peter Lawford is the nigga in the Rat Pack that don't nobody know. Y'all know Frank Sinatra. Y'all know Dean Martin. Y'all know everybody else except for Peter Lawford. And if you go back to episode 2 about Sinatra, when they show that scene where Cal was the senator and Sinatra was, building her app and she was the tech genius. And he's saying like, hey, my dad, she's like, how your dad? You're like, oh, he good. He talk about you all the time. He always says like, you're Sinatra. Me, I'm Peter Lawford. I'm only in this shit because of who I know. You're Sinatra. You the real leader, dog. So Peter Lawford is the dude in the Rat Pack who nobody really fucking knows. He didn't have the name. He didn't have a cachet, but he's the man with all the secrets. Because I'm still a part of the Rat Pack, and I still know everything that's going on. So the notes was in that book, the Peter Lawford biography, which I thought was really fucking dope.
And these notes are basically Cal writing down the audio he heard off the iPad. So all those tapes and those recordings, he writing all that shit down. He drawing out maps and stuff like that. This is all the things that Cal wrote down, and irrigation and settlements and trade routes and like tens of millions of people out there. They said the temperature is 52 degrees or like 62 degrees up there. Like it was so much data in those sheets. I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, it's like civilization is up there. It's not as bad as once predicted. So
and the other thing he had in that book were the coordinates to Atlanta where Xavier's wife was, right? Like I don't know where she at right now, but this is where she was at in
think
Atlanta.
about this too. Jane and Billy, and all them niggas, y'all niggas suck. Cause all the fuck y'all had to do was do y'all fucking job. This shit would have never happened. Oh boy, didn't know that y'all had the fucking cameras and shit turned off. That nigga just picked that night and walked up in that bitch. If you niggas wasn't in there, bitch, playing with that fucking Wii, that would have never happened.
Yeah.
Y'all just had to do your regular fucking job. Y'all fucking in the White House. Robinson, you fucking to him. Like, y'all are, I get it. Y'all not taking this shit serious because to y'all ain't no guns down here. It's a limited amount of people. Ain't nothing popping.
And we quite literally handpicked all 25,000 people down there.
And we know
psych evals, the whole nine, right?
But you know, humans, we didn't account for human error.
Yeah.
But all y'all had to do was y'all fucking job.
Yeah. Fucked up too. The scene that we got right before. So as Xavier realizes what the numbers might mean, and he goes to discover the book. What's up?
How the fuck this nigga get in the house, dog? You walked through the whole house and just walked up the steps, huh?
Yeah, because
it was more than two niggas out there on patrol. Remember the other two? But Billy was there and old girl was there. It's more than two Secret Service people though.
Jane wasn't on that night. Jane came in the next morning.
So I'm saying it's more than one person.
Yeah.
Like remember them other two niggas that was walking around? Mm-hmm. Where the fuck was everybody at? This nigga just walked through the residence.
All them niggas got to do is go around the side of the house, and I'm gonna go right through this front door. Billy's supposed to be there at that front door. He sleep as fuck. I come in. Oh shit, this nigga on the couch. Now all I gotta do, cut this shit off real quick, nigga. Let me go ahead and disconnect these cameras.
But somebody did turn the motherfucking cameras off so we can play Wii that night, though. Because even his daughter went over there that night to play Wii.
Yeah. I feel like Billy probably did it and fell asleep. Jane wasn't there that night, so she probably fucking was supposed to be there and never came back. Maybe she fell asleep. Who knows? On some random shit.
Mark said, didn't he climb up the balcony? That's what initially I was thought, but he walked through that door.
Yeah, he came through. So you remember President Cal, Mark, he was on the balcony.
Yeah.
Looking at his iPad. And then Dog walked up behind him and surprised him. And then when Cal turned around, he hit him with the joint and, got him concussed, fucked him up.
Dog, thought he killed him. Cal went out bad, dog.
Bro, so one of my favorite parts of this episode, and it'll probably go unnoticed, but this a James Marsden fan account right now. Yo, the quick flashbacks that they showed to all four people he loved, and the last thing that he said to them and they said to him, they showed him and Robinson, him and Xavier, him and his daddy, him and his son Jeremy. All four of them, all that nigga Cal said that day was, I love you and I want to work this shit out. What do we gotta do for us to be cool again, dog? Like, I love you, dog.
You ever been proud of me?
Asked his daddy, was he proud of him? He told him, nigga, everything you did, you got because I gave you. Asked Jeremy, do you like, I love you, dog. I want to see you. Come and have dinner with me. That nigga said, nah, fuck you, Pops. Asked that nigga Xavier, bro, what do we got to do to get cool again? That nigga Xavier said, yo, I'll sleep. You die.
I'll forgive you when I can sleep again. And I'll sleep again when you dead.
Sleep again when you die. Like, come on. And then told Robinson, I love you. She said, call me when you sober. God damn, dog. I love four. Yo, imagine loving four people on the whole earth. Because earth is 25,000 deep.
Not even.
Love four of these niggas.
Not even. Because All them niggas didn't make it here.
Facts. Earth might be about 22,500 deep, and you love 4 people left. And all 4 of them shitted on you on your last day on Earth, bro. That scene where they showed them quick flashbacks back to back to back was so impactful, dog, because it really let you know this nigga was fucked up. Xavier's anger was misplaced, in my opinion. After seeing what actually happened, that was on him. Tell you, yo, Camila, I'm so glad you said that. We kind of talked through it last week, but episode 7 had so much going on. There was a lot to talk through. I want to make it real clear. Xavier, dog, you fucked that up, bro. You fucked that up real bad, dog. Your anger was not only misplaced, but the fact you said, yo, I'll sleep when you dead. Nigga, he needed to die because you thought that he was the reason your wife missed the plane, when the whole reason your wife missed the plane was your wife was the reason for missing the plane. And you didn't tell her not to get on the plane.
Kev on stage put a poll up about who was most at fault, and I made my comments that it was Xavier's fault. And there's a whole bunch of people who agree with me and liked it and made comments or whatever, because he told you in enough time.
Yep.
He told you got secret security clearance, my nigga. You knew that there was a bunker being made for this. He told you that it's not time for her to go to Atlanta and the whole 9 yards. He wasn't vague, but I gave you enough information. Also, when you came to me, I put you in touch with the Admiral dude, and we gave her a route and a location for her to go to. She didn't make it to that location. Also, I gave you a satellite phone so you can make a phone call to her, and you, for all intents and purposes, what it seemed like to you is you spent your last moments with her, which should have gave you some closure, right? It doesn't take away the pain of losing a wife and the mother of your children, but you were there and y'all shared a special moment before her destruction. And then he stopped the destruction by letting go of multiple EMPs. Like, he did every single thing possible that was in his that was in his grasp of control. And 100% misplaced.
Here's my thing, man. Like, could I have stressed the end of the world a little bit more? Maybe. That's up for debate. I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. But I did tell you, I didn't think your wife's trips to Atlanta were like cool anymore. And you probably want to keep her home. I told you that.
Matter of fact, I asked you randomly to go through the final moments, right? So what happens if this, to the point where you said, "Hey, my nigga, the fuck is you? What is you doing? What is it? What you not telling me?" And then I told you, nigga, it ain't time for her to be doing that shit, nigga. It's not safe no more.
Yeah, man. And I also feel like, yo, I can lead a horse to water. Cal did everything he could have done. Then left a map to find her. Cal was looking out to his final moment. Yo, Jay, man. Don't spit bars at me like this, nigga. Cause yes, I gave you everything you needed and some, yo. The greatest. What up, family? It also felt like not only did I give you everything you needed and some, Cal isn't. Ooh, he got
bars.
Ooh,
y'all coming through with bars.
Yo, man. Yo, y'all podding right now in the chat. Cal did have to. You know what's funny about Cal having to die, for him having to be this Messiah like figure? If I didn't go out the first of all, Cal didn't know he was gonna die. Again, him being killed was random. Like,
he thought he'd get killed by Sinatra, though, and he could have been, right?
But even Sinatra said, yo, he was on his way to making me mad enough that I was gonna have to kill him, but he hadn't done enough yet. Like, I just needed that nigga to stop looking for shit because he was a little too inquisitive. But finding out how and why he actually got killed, it makes you look at it like, yo, not only was Cal a good dude, I was a good dude with no incentive because I didn't know I was finna die. I really just wanted the people who didn't love me, who I love so much, to know that I really didn't mean whatever they gripes were with me. I needed them to know that I didn't mean to piss them
Man,
off. I ain't mean to make you mad. I ain't
when
mean
he
to
said
hurt
them
you,
cigarettes and kill him, he was like, "No, what's inside of these will definitely get me killed."
man. Man, yo, imagine your dying moments, and then you go to that fucking. You already put the numbers on a cigarette, but then in your dying moments, literally blood dripping from your head, you take a little bit and put that X on a cigarette box.
Low key,
Just
if he would have just stand still and act like he was dead, he'd have made it.
oh, for sure. But I gotta let my man know, because even though this nigga hates me right now, I need him to know I love him, dog.
No, I'm
Yo,
saying
Cal,
like
Cal the realest thing on here.
when Cal got hit in the head, he got hit in the
Yeah.
head twice because he started moving again.
No,
Like,
but that's what I'm saying. He moved because he crawled to put the X on the
oh,
cigarette box.
yeah.
Yeah, and then dog heard him and was like, "Bro, what the fuck? Thought I killed you already." Yo, I was so happy with this finale. I know a lot of people were met. Yo, before I even say what I was finna say, rewind a little bit. The discovery, not only of the project manager foreman nigga who actually killed him, but old girl in the diner. Like, yo, shout out to Robinson doing her fucking job, man. Like, I need you to pull up a list of everybody who had a red flag when they came in, dog. Like, broken wristband, whatever, dog.
I'm with you, D Scott. I enjoyed this episode. I do think episode 7, which was the penultimate episode, by the way.
D Scott, that's by design, baby. That penultimate episode is quite literally supposed to be more tense, more kind of in your face than the finale, dog. That's the episode that takes you into the finale. So I agree with you. I think it was better. I think this one, finales are difficult because you have to close storylines, right? You got to wrap them up in a way that satisfies the audience. I think they did a great job at it, dog. I really do, man. I think they took everything we learned this season and put that shit in a bowl, but also left us with enough to go into season 2, man.
I think season 2 is totally different from season 1, and I don't know that we make it back inside of Paradise until season 3.
Oh, yeah. So
I read something about like each of these seasons are going to be like different.
I did too. I don't know how accurate it is, but I read a similar thing.
So let's have a conversation about not Cal, but Xavier and his father that we never had. His father, the pilot, who always wanted him to be a pilot.
Yeah.
And he flew the whole 9 yards, but went a different route ultimately to the Secret Service.
Well, yeah, because he couldn't pass the eye test, right? You want to be a pilot, your vision has to be at a certain level. And if it isn't, you can't fly a plane, which I'm never mad at.
So we never really talked about how it is to rat out your dad, which is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But he was like, it wasn't hard for me to do because that's how I was raised. My nigga, you got MS. You can't be out here shaky with the behind the wheel.
Plane. You got a plane full of, you fly commercial planes, dog. People are on them. Regular, everyday citizens, nigga. I can't knowing that your MS has bothered you so much and is affecting you to the point that you're quite literally shaking. I can't have you fucking flying them. And you at the age where you literally could retire, bro, and go ahead and like in your career on your own terms. You don't want to because you love it and it's all you know. But in reality, yo, dog, you might be a danger to them people you flying, man.
I think that relationship may come back because he took his father's flying wings out.
Yeah.
When he flew the plane to go out and search for his wife or whatever, right? So that flying thing is gonna be a thing, but like, I don't know.
Here's the thing.
No
As
way. I
much as
can't
they
believe they
can,
don't show what's going on in Paradise at all. I don't necessarily know if it's like a at all thing, but I think the majority of it is going to be on the outside and it's going to be
so
different characters.
let's talk about that. I think season 2. So the end of the episode, we see Xavier take that book, take those coordinates. He talks to his daughter, and Presley flat out tells him, "Yo, she told you to take care of us, which you did. Now go find your wife, nigga.
Go bring her back to us.
Go bring her wife. Go bring my mom back, bro." So he goes and he gets on one of them planes, and he know because now I know it's a way out because Cal gave it to me, dog. And I'm about to go out there and I'm about to see if I can find my wife. I do think the majority of season 2 will be spent on the outside of Paradise. Seeing this desolate world, seeing this fucking because it's been 3 years, dog. In 3 years, most of the world looks crazy. How you
I
think they're
can
gonna use the
see them
flashbacks?
using flashbacks to show what his wife was doing during those 3 years. I can see them doing flashbacks about what the fuck Jane was doing prior
So those
to
is
her.
my top 2. I think we're gonna learn a lot more because we saw the Billy and Sinatra flashback, and we kind of learned how Billy became who he was. I think we're gonna learn what Jane was on prior to Paradise, and we're gonna learn how his wife survived.
Yeah, I agree
That's
with that.
majority, but I do think there's a storyline to happen. Oh, 100.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that for sure.
Simplistic Grace, I think the Jane flashbacks and like that whole storyline with her and Sinatra is going to play a big part inside of Paradise and also in the flashbacks. Like I think they're going to give us a lot on that end. I also think we're going to get a ton of shit about how his wife survived for 3 years. Here's the other part. If she survived,
Yo,
I'm
this
not
is
100% sure she made it 3 years, dog.
D Scott. Why is this so very specific?
I bet Cash Money, the wife, got another kid and gonna be light skinned and named Jaden. D
That's
Scott,
very specific.
D
That's
Scott,
very specific, dog.
D Scott. I need you to calm the fuck down. I need you to calm your fuck down and just chill for a minute. I don't know. Again, I'm 90% sure that his wife is gonna be alive. I'm 10% thinking she might have survived the initial year or two. 3 years with no food, no water, no transportation, no. I don't know if she's still out there, dog. They
But there's
said,
water. There is food. There is water.
well, look, but they also said that Earth would be a fucking year-long winter. That was Earth right now.
Well, no, in that book, it said the average temperature is like 57 degrees. All
Yeah,
that shit is what he wrote that Cal wrote down. He said they found some cave or whatever. They start building like towns and caves. They said some water irrigation system they got. Like, I think they out there. Shit, we saw there was a fucking deer out there.
yeah. It's gonna be interesting, dog.
And one of the locations is in Georgia.
Yeah. I'm also very curious if Xavier finds his wife, right? What
This
else is
feel
he
like
gonna
Walking
find
Dead to
on
me.
the way? You said what?
This feel like The Walking Dead.
Oh, one nigga, me and you were me and Jay was the last two niggas watching The Walking Dead. Nobody else was watching that shit 13 seasons later, nigga. It was just me and my bro. So this 100% feels Walking Dead-ish because now I'm looking for somebody in a wasteland, right? I'm looking
Rick and
for somebody
Michonne.
in an apocalypse.
Nigga, surviving off them lemon pepper wings. Hey,
Mark,
hey.
I lived in Atlanta 10 years, dog. I'm here to tell you, I survived off lemon pepper wings, nigga. Lemon pepper hot wet will get you through 3 years, bro. And that's a fact. Can he be our real president? Yo, I think it'll be on some Warriors type shit. His wife will be like the leader of the world as it is, and extremely radicalized. I could see that.
On
Yo,
some
what if
Walking
his
Dead
wife-
shit.
What if he find her and she like completely like fucked up, like mentally, like I've been down here fighting for my fucking life, nigga. I don't even know how to love you right now, dog.
I think there gonna be different communities and different things that are going on, and because she's a scientist, I think she'll be a. Who knows, right? We just spitballing at this moment.
Yeah, for sure.
But she will probably be a higher member in society if she's a scientist. You feel me?
Now, on the flip side, we thinking a lot about what it might look like out there on Earth. In paradise, yo, you got this weak ass VP who literally
looked like grew up here.
He
Because
grew up here from a nigga who didn't have a pair. Like,
I think they about to give him a different arc because
now he 100% has to be VP because Cal is dead and Sinatra's down. You gotta be the leader now, nigga. Like,
but to the point where he banged on the table, told them niggas to shut the fuck up, basically.
yeah.
I feel like he about to go into evil mode.
Yeah.
Because they said
curious.
Somebody just gonna replace Sinatra. And that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The bureaucracy is gonna take over.
I'm also curious again. Yes, I think he's gonna step up and be the fucking leader and do his due diligence. I'm also like, hey, nigga, what do you know? Because I think as much as Cal didn't know, I think the VP is 10 times further outside the loop. Nigga.
Like, Jeremy gets into this too, because that the message that he left his father left him rather like, you are what you love, and nigga, I love you.
I'm you.
So I'm you. That means you me. And if you don't like the world that I constructed, hey, yo, change it, man.
Yeah. Yo, and I'm gonna steal that bar. I already know what I'm gonna tell Sure, I'm gonna be like, yo, you are what you love. So that means I'm you and you me. And you know what I'm saying? We. Nigga, fuck is you talking about, dog? Like, come on, now.
Rich now.
Now, oh, it makes sense now. Heard you talking about we a lot. Yo, there's still so much to the point that she made. Like, yo, there's still a lot they can do within Paradise, fam. Cal and Presley, I think they about to really fuck shit up, yo. That youthful angle.
He still got the iPad. He been reading that shit to everybody who will listen.
Cal, like, hey, you want to see my daddy iPad real quick? Look at this shit. It's a secret. Like, come on now, nigga. He got the iPad. He got the fucking audio. If y'all niggas want to hear the audio version, like, I got everything I need, bro. Season 2 is gonna be really fucking good, man. And I don't think they're short on storylines. I also, again, to episode 7, where they briefly mentioned there were rumors about bunkers in fucking France and other areas. Hey, fam, we could paradise this shit about a whole nother fucking area while giving y'all the paradise that we're familiar with.
Like, because it does look like via the writing that was in that book, there is another civilization in a cave somewhere.
Yeah. Like, we can literally give y'all the familiar paradise while also giving you some new shit, bro. Yo.
Or not.
Well, here's the thing.
Out there, his wife gonna be pregnant.
Here's the thing. Baby, I'm sorry.
Thought you was gone.
I thought you was gone. This therapist.
It's like Mark S and Helly R.
Come on now.
But it was you.
This therapist kind of aight, and she therapized me, dog. I get what I was supposed to do. She got in my brain, dog. She made me fucking eat cheese fries.
Dog, get the fuck out of here, dog. This thing, Aaron said, no, these guys, he can just say, we didn't see it coming.
Didn't see it coming. Time just moved too fast. And now we slipping. Yo, word to Charles, man. Yo, the therapist, shout out to her for she tried to tell Sinatra, hey, dog, you're bugging the fuck out.
Like, you losing it. You all right?
Yo, she literally told Sinatra, yo, I need you to calm down, nigga. Same shit I just told D. Scott, by the way. Like,
you know what's so funny? When Xavier told Robinson, like, give me your gun. She's like, nigga, I'm not giving you my fucking gun.
Yo,
I'm not giving you my fucking gun. What are you
Yo,
talking about?
I never.
So then Robinson goes to the therapist's house and like, yo, I need some help. And she's like, no, nigga, I'm done. She was like, bitch, I'm not asking nicely again. Like, y'all really got shit fucked up down here as if I won't fuck y'all up.
I want all y'all to go back and look at that scene. Robinson foot big as shit. She stuck that big ass fucking G.I. Jane boot right up in that was the G.I. Joe. It wasn't even Jane. She stuck that big ass boot in that doorway and said, yo, I'm not asking you, dog. She could have been pregnant before the disaster and now has a 3-year-old. Fam.
Yo, that, right. what was that we watched on Paramount Plus with dude from Severance?
Paramount. Dog from Severance. Paramount.
Cowboy dude. First police officer, sheriff nigga.
Oh shit. Hold on, was that Paramount Plus?
I think it was on Paramount Plus. He was the Lone Ranger dude. What do you call him? He was a real Lone Ranger.
Fuck. Oh shit.
Bass Reeves. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. That was Paramount Plus.
Remember he dipped and then came back like, oh shit, you had a baby? No, nigga, this your baby.
Bass Reeves came back to a 10-year-old nigga. That nigga looked around like, I ain't been here in 10 years.
He like, shit, you moved on, I see. No, nigga, this is your baby.
Bass Reeves walked in the house like, baby, who is this?
No, every time they did a flash forward, that nigga had 4 more kids, dog.
Like, tell you what Bass Reeves was gonna do in the fucking apocalypse. He was fucking, nigga.
Yo, having a baby in apocalypse is wild.
Fam. On some Anthony Edwards shit. I don't want it. Like, I'm cool.
I'm not cool with that nigga.
Yo, man. So 1 to 10, how you feel about the finale, bro?
I give it an 8.
I'm gonna go 9 on the finale, man. And my reason for the 9 is I was really fully prepared for them to fuck this finale up. Cause coming off episode 7, so when me and you be talking about like penultimate episodes and we talk about like the one before the finale, right? A lot of the shows we do, the penultimate don't even be penultimate 10 for real. Like it just be in number that is the penultimate, but the plot and the theme and the activities that happen, they don't necessarily be fire like that. Episode 7 of this was so good that I was fully prepared for them to fuck up the finale because I was like, you can't come back from that, dog. That episode was damn near perfect. And I didn't know what they would do in episode 8. And I thought they did just about as good of a job as they could. They gave us a lot of backstory. They filled in so many gaps, dog. Like I'm going 9. You went 8. Audience, y'all let us know what y'all thought, man.
We also saw Sinatra's husband and daughter again.
They made a brief appearance. The daughter looked a little older too. I'm like, all right, you've been in that house.
Did you think that old girl killed the daughter? Because she was like, she called her like, yeah, it's been done already. Wait, what?
You know what? When she was on the phone with her, the tension was there for me. Because Jane was being she was like, nah, don't worry about it. We cool. I got it over here. Don't trip. But when they showed the text, and you remember Sinatra text her like, what did you do with the girl? And she was like, I took care of it already. She'd been eliminated. I was like, yo, is Jane really out cold like that? But it was something about it. And it wasn't the acting. It wasn't something about that scene where Sinatra was like, I'm sorry, I ain't mean for it to go this far. And Xavier start crying. In my mind, I just felt like
my mind's telling me no.
Nigga, in my mind. Like on some holiday shit, I felt like he was just, I literally thought he was just crying so he could pull a secret strap out his sock and shoot these niggas, dog.
We got 101 people in the live stream. Shout out to everybody on Twitter, to Jay Johnson 313 YouTube, and the This Week in Culture YouTube. 101. Shout out to y'all.
What up, gang? But no, something didn't let me think that she had really killed Presley, because I thought if she was that sinister, they would have showed, not necessarily
This
showed
would
her.
have been this would have been a 10 out of a 10 if they would have killed the girl. Because I would have seen Xavier go into a different mode. And I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, yo, that nigga went down low. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's doing something. Because you
Yeah.
ain't about to bitch up and cry. He went and got that gun out that boot, let them bitches off.
2 headshots, bow bow, nigga, just to let niggas know. I never felt like Presley was really dead, but if they had killed her, I gotta be honest, I'd have went to another level with, and like this would have been a 10 if they had really killed Presley. Here's the thing, I like his daughter's character, yo. I think she's good. I think she stabilizes him. So it's the first season, A Pair of Wires. Oh no, Rob.
This first season some buffs for sure.
This is a pair of white sticks, dog. Like
the season as a whole, white sticks.
This a pair of white sticks for sure. Like to come out the gate with a show this fucking like gripping, this entertaining, this well acted, dog. Yeah, this a pair of white sticks, bro. These is the most buffiest buffs of them all, nigga. Like this shit was great, bro. We got more shit in the chat. Oh,
we got another voice note too, actually.
Yeah, let's get that off.
Aunt Jay, what up, though? It's your man Harv tapping in for that season finale of Paradise.
What up,
episode
gang?
8. I definitely think episode 7 was better. Episode 8, it was cool. I got a couple issues. All right, so number 1, how did Xavier not question his daughter being with Jane after Sinatra told him that I have your daughter? How did he not put 2 and 2 together? Also, how did he not question her having a blicky? And even if he didn't question it in the moment, how did he not question it after, once he figured out his daughter was safe? I get you just, oh my God, my daughter, I know where she at. But then it's like that moment where you be like, huh? You feel me? Like, I'm like, all right, I don't know. Again, I think that's a plot hole, personally. But, you know, it is what it is. That's something that gave me cause to pause. I think I'm going out of order, but going back to the beginning of the episode, excuse me, and seeing how the people that actually built Paradise and all the health effects that they had and how they weren't taken care of by the government, by the rich, it kind of reminded me about how during the Manhattan Project, aka the movie Oppenheimer, but it was actually called the Manhattan Project, and when they actually detonated the first atomic bomb in the New Mexico desert, how the downstream effect gave so many people cancer due to the wind blowing the toxic air on ash and debris, and how the government kind of covered that up. Or how you talk about, you know, World Trade Center, that tragedy, you know, 9/11, and how so many firefighters and first responders got got sick from inhaling and all those toxic chemicals, and how they weren't really properly taken care of, you know, by the government. So, you know, just watching that, you know, in Paradise, and then thinking about some history examples, kind of drawing parallels there, I thought that was interesting. Also, Jane asking for a we if she killed the kid is crazy. Like, I get, like, it's the end of the world, but yo, like, a kid's life for a we don't know if she was serious. I didn't think she was, but I'm like, yo, that's just, you know, a part of me thinks she was kind of serious. I don't know, but that was just hilarious. And she like, yeah, you know, hey, you know that we President Cal had, I'll take care of old girl, but yeah, I need that we tennis. That's my shit. So I thought that was a little strange, a little funny. I think the double agent, again, Jane, she played it perfectly by gaining Xavier's trust by shooting Sinatra, but not giving her a fatal wound because she still needs her. So that was interesting. The episode kind of felt rushed. The pacing kind of felt off. This episode was 46 minutes. The last episode was 57 minutes. And I was like, damn, this kind of 11 minutes short. And when I was doing some research, the first episode, I think, was 46 or 47 minutes. So they started the season how they ended the season. But to me, the pacing just felt a little off. It felt a little rushed. Overall, solid episode. Again, I have my plot holes with Jane and Xavier that I called out. I'm interested to see how, going into season 2, how the president, who looks like he's going to take Sinatra's position, how he takes over. It looks like he's going to maybe, be more he's going to be a fucking dictator. I was trying to say authoritarian, but fuck it, whatever. Got the word wrong. But sometimes those cowards who don't really have a voice, when they finally develop a voice, they be on some wild shit, just ego power trips. So really interested to see how that turns out. I was kind of get like Daryl from like Walking Dead vibes. His spin-off show when Xavier was about to fly the plane and leaving out. I was like, okay, I kind of see where it's going, Lone Ranger type shit. But also, it's just like, I get flying a plane, but it's like, if the world was like destroyed with, the nukes, not necessarily nukes. Yeah, with nukes as well as the natural disaster, I'm like, how the fuck you gonna land this shit? But I guess, we'll see that in season 2. That was kind of from a logic standpoint. I'm like, how the fuck you gonna land if there's water and shit everywhere? I don't know. But overall, definitely enjoyed Paradise. It was, I seen someone in This Week in Culture group call it interracial excellence. I thought that shit was fucking hilarious. But yeah, overall great show. Sterling K. Brown fucking rocked it. Really excited for season 2. I thought the Librarian, like, kind of tying that storyline in, and I thought that was a really cool point. I was think it was fucked up that he killed those 2 people, steal their identity. But it's the end of the world. My last voice don't talk about lawlessness, so I mean, in the grand scheme of things, fuck it. Niggas die every day, B. But overall, really good episode. Wasn't my favorite season finale. Felt rushed. Felt pacing was off a little bit. Felt like they kind of rushed to tie some loose ends. But excited for season 2. I just want to tap in with you fellas. Hope you all having a good week. And yeah, peace and blessings as always. And I will touch in with y'all later. Just under 6 minutes. Peace.
Peace, Harv.
Man, he makes some good points. I think.
Go ahead.
I think that the conversation that Xavier was having with Sinatra, like, yo, where the fuck is my daughter at? And then old girl just as he was gonna say, Jane got her. She shot her in the throat, right? And be like, don't worry, I got your daughter. She's gonna be safe. So I don't think it appeared as Jane came and saved the day. Not that you've been with her the whole time, just that, hey, I've been on some secret agent shit myself after Billy died, right? Because they still think that she a good guy. So I was doing my secret agent shit after Billy died, and I found the girl, and now she's safe. Shot that bitch in the throat. Like, you ain't about to expose my secret. Boom. I thought she killed her, but when she started talking to her, I'm like, oh, shit. I thought that was a little bit unrealistic, actually, though, because blood would be squirting everywhere. You can't get shot in the throat and then just sit there like everything all good. But it's TV. It's TV. So
one thing, Harvard, appreciate that voice note. That shit was phenomenal. You brought up some really great points. One thing you brought up that I had not thought about and that I really can see as like, yo, this was a major indicator of some shady shit. It's Jane having a gun in that moment. Xavier was one of very few people who learned not only that there were guns, but where they were at. Jane popping up with the gun and immediately busting off. To your point, Jay, I agree with you. I think in the moment, he's looking at her like almost like heroic in a sense. Like, you popped up and shot her before some shit happened. But almost immediately after, I would be like, yo, where the fuck you get a gun, my nigga? Like,
immediately after, I want my family, and I had to make a decision about if I'm gonna dip or not.
Yeah.
Now, in the history of this show, and by history I mean these 7 episodes or 8 episodes, he likes to go back and just sit there and think. I think he gonna start playing that shit back in his mind on some like, oh shit, wait a minute, where did she get that gun from? You know how he did when he went to the when he went back to the crime scene, when he went to the library, the whole 9 yards. So that may come up, in the future episode or whatever. But yeah, where you get this gun from?
Because I can definitely see him flying that plane and starting to have some memories. Like, Jane popped in with a gun, nigga. Me and fucking Robinson was the only two who knew where the guns was at, and then we went and got them.
Also, like, Sinatra not in like no coma. Bitch, I can write. Nigga, I can be like Jane did it. Like, well, I mean, me not be, I don't get it.
Here's the thing: it's a lot left to explore with Sinatra still being alive. I'm not 100% sure why Jane would need her alive. Because, like, on Earth, I would get it because I need Sinatra alive so I can keep getting paid. Because I'm sure Sinatra paid a grip. Down in Paradise, I really
need in perks? And she did get that weed, by the way.
Oh, she got that weed, but she stole it.
Yeah. And she like, so listen, the president is dead, so I know he don't need it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing all this shit for you. Let me get that weed, my nigga.
And Billy is dead. It was only 3 people playing weed, nigga.
But
and Presley could be dead, but I left her alive.
You saw the look of confusion and amazement that Sinatra had on her face. Like, you think niggas gonna kill for free?
Man.
Like, I take advantage of people. Well, you take advantage of people for a living, but I also murder people for a living too. So, like, I'm gonna press you too. Yeah. I need you. I did this for you. Now you do this for me. I'm down here now.
Facts. Thinking about the season overall, man, I was really, really impressed by not only Sterling K. Brown. I think everybody did a phenomenal job at creating the scene, right? Like, really developing the fucking environment. I was having a conversation online earlier. Somebody, so it was in the comment thread of Dan Fogelman's post about his email to Sterling K. Brown, right? And it got me to thinking, as a writer, again, it's one thing to have somebody in mind, like, if I write a fucking script, I might love Denzel in this role, but maybe I can get to Denzel, maybe I can't, right? But if I think of somebody specific who I absolutely know will body this shit, that's a thing, because that person that I'm thinking of for this role, I'm thinking of them for a reason, right? And I got to thinking, like, not only was Sterling K. Brown perfect in this shit, James Marsden, dog, like, so I've never been more impressed by an actor at least in recent years, bro. Like, before this season, if you would have asked me who you think could play the president, I might have said, grab any one of the middle-aged white boys. Like, they all cool. Like, you can run through a list of white dudes who could have been the president of this shit. After watching this season, nigga, James Marsden was made for this role, bro.
Man, I think everybody really did a good job at acting. Sinatra did an amazing job, right? The therapist did an amazing job. She looks confused, and a lot of the times, I mean, Jane did an excellent job.
Yeah,
she did a good job acting while she was acting.
Yeah, for sure.
She made them tears come out of nowhere, like she was really sick over Billy's dying. Like, wow. That's crazy.
Jane was so good. Honestly, I think her character actually, even in a limited role, I think she got better and more believable and more demented at the end of the season. Like, I thought she was, early in the season, she was kind of regular. She just seemed like the fucking...
She was playing ditzy.
You was the girl on the team, right? But, like, the episode where Billy was killed, up until that final scene, absolutely nothing about her felt sinister. And I think that was, kudos to the actress, because I think it was all intentional, dog. Since Billy died, I've been like, yo, this bitch is really out her fucking mind, dog. Like, and this final episode, even the scene where her and Presley sitting at the table and she telling her, like, yo, please just stay one more minute with me, like just a little bit. And then she get the call from Sinatra. And when she took it, it's like, yeah, fam, like I hear you, but what you want me to do with the girl though? Because I want to
He was
kill
like, all right, I'll take care of it. Like, whoa,
like,
nigga, no.
Jane was bloodthirsty as fuck, and I didn't know, nigga. Like, she did a phenomenal job toward the end of the season, capturing being an insane ass chick, nigga. Like, I was very impressed, dog.
Shout out to 156 people in the live stream. We got the Twitter folks, the This
What
Week
up,
in
though?
Culture YouTube folks, 155. Shout out to y'all.
Going into a second season, man. Obviously, we don't know the angle they could take. There's a ton of fucking subject matter there for them to explore, but knowing how good of a fucking first season they had, they struck gold out the gate. But you, especially, you're familiar with Dan Fogelman, you're familiar with Sterling K. Brown and the work that they do together. Do you think they could mess this up? And
No, I don't think they're gonna mess it up. I think in season 2 there are probably going to be more famous actors added to the cast because that's how it works when you got
want to be a part of this shit now.
Yeah. And I think especially if it's on the outside on some Walking Dead type shit, right? Because if you about to go out into this post-apocalyptic world and you got communities, there are going to be people who are going to be running these communities and people who want to going to be hoarding resources and things of that nature. And I was reading an article saying that each 3 of these seasons are going to be like different than the others. So I don't know what that means as far as the writing, but I was a fan and I was a participant, right? Sometimes we watch shows and we want to write the show for the person telling us the story.
Yeah.
And I'm perfectly fine with me following wherever you taking me. Same thing I said with last week's episode of Severance. I'm okay with not knowing all the information right now or whatnot, because you guys are doing a really good job at storytelling. So I'm gonna trust your lead. So if season 2 is drastically different from season 1, but the acting is still on point, hey, it is what it is. And when there's new stuff to uncover, I just know that there is more time for them to tell me that, because we probably gonna get another season and another season. So I'm okay with it, whichever direction they go. Dan Fogelman he's 2 for 2 for me. So I've never seen Sterling K. Brown anything that he didn't do a stellar performance in. So I'm good with whatever direction they go in, honestly.
Yeah. I wasn't familiar with your game, Dan Fogelman. I didn't know this is how you fucking played it, dog. Getting through this season, and again, man, because I remember watching episode 1. I watched enough political thrillers that a president getting killed don't even make me fucking flinch, dog. Seeing what they were able to do by the end of that episode and realizing we had gone through probably 2 or 3 different potential plots in my head. I was like, yo, we working with a fucking mad genius right here, dog. And then seeing the direction, like even look at, the first 3 or 4 episodes, those episodes were angled on specific characters, right? Like the first half of this season was about individual characters and their sort of journey into paradise, man. And looking at the second half of it, it was like, yo, we had a whodunit, we had a where's my fucking wife? Is she still alive? Yo, who is this villainous ass trying to take over the world? But like, there were so many stories told within one story. I think they did a phenomenal job, and I from this alone, I have all the faith in the world that the second season will be just as interesting as this one was, and just as well executed. The acting on this series brought out some of the best that I've seen on TV in a while. Like, we've seen similar types of shows, whether we're talking End of the World, whether we're talking politics, political thriller, or whatever. the acting don't be like this, dog.
So, like, this show is really good. One of the best shows on TV, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion. It was a show good enough for not to be on network TV.
Yeah,
Like one of the stars, not stars, one of the HBOs, one of the like it was that good, but it was shot. I could tell these are the cameras that ABC shot. I know it's Hulu, but I know ABC shot this because it's visually looks like something that'll probably be on ABC. So that's a good contrast because we don't normally get this level of acting on network TV, and it's not network TV because it's Hulu, but I like that blend. I like that.
yeah. Phenomenal first season, man. Really, really good. Excellent fucking casting. I'm excited about the second season. I'm glad they announced it already, so we know that we're gonna get more of this story, and we don't have to wait. You know, some networks make you fucking wait it out to figure out if this shit is happening. And I'm really excited that we have a fucking show that the whole timeline is on, man. Everybody is on this shit, dog.
Also, if you didn't get a chance to send in a voice note, didn't make it to this show, send it in, man. We might pop on a live next week or something just to chop it up. Thoughts, concerns, whole 9 yards.
I had one of the homies ask, are we going to drop these Paradise episodes on the Apple and the streamers? We can. Like, it ain't a no. They were YouTube exclusives because me and Jay really wanted to get this YouTube shit kicked off.
And YouTube's free. So
yeah, we wanted this to be available for everybody. Some people don't have Apple, some people don't have Spotify. I don't even know if Google Play is still a thing anymore. But wherever you listen to podcasts, I've also had people say, yo, I prefer podcasts via video. I like to watch my podcast. So we wanted to make sure they got to the YouTube, but I'm not opposed to dropping these bitches on the main pod just so folks can get access if they want the audio only. You know what I'm saying? Because it really was that good. So we might drop them over there, man. Be on the lookout. It's a great question, man. It ain't something I had thought about, but definitely not opposed.
Oh wow, Robert said it's going to ABC in April. So I know my cameras, okay? I know my look. I know the looks.
Shit, you can look at the fucking cover art and tell this shit's gonna be on ABC. These are the type of shows Stars needs to. You know what, man? Unfortunately, Stars don't have the people to create this type of shit, yo. Like they just don't. They had some really good ideas 10 years ago, and they let the wrong people cultivate those ideas, and now we got a lot of mid. But speaking of Stars, Raising Kanan, the one good show left on that motherfucker, will be back this Friday. Me and Jay will be back early next week with the Raising Kanan reviews. Y'all already know those is our people. And we about to kick it with Rock and Uncle Marv and Uncle Lou and all of them. So that'll be back ASAP. D Scott, we early, nigga. We already got it, bro. Chill, my dog. We on it. Yo, man, really appreciate everybody who tapped in for these Paradise reviews. Really appreciate y'all for kicking it with us. We know it's late. We know it's a school night, work night, all the things, but we had to get that off, man. Paradise, phenomenal season 1, man. Can't wait till season 2. Hope it don't take more than a year to get it done. 2 years max, but I'm really, really hoping that they back next year because I can't wait to see more, man. This shit was great, dog. In the meantime, y'all already know what it is. Hit us up, This Week in Culture, on all the socials. Email us your voice notes, whether they late or not. We don't care. We will get them Paradise voice notes in. thisweekinculturepod@gmail.com. Until next week, I'm Ant. That's Jay. Paradise YouTube exclusive review. We out.